Howdy, Tactical or MTY here, or MGY, sorry. I forgot I changed my call sign. Today we are in my game, Marconi Telegraph Workshop. I just recently saved this with my friend who just recently left the room. I'm currently still voice banned for 5 extra hours. Even though I didn't say anything offensive, I was in Titanic Legacy and I just got voice banned for a day. So yeah, let's just get this over with. This is meant to act as somewhat of a museum for my Marconi wireless and ham radio telegraphs. Um, so let's start with this. This was made back when I was in 7th grade. Technically, I don't have it actually saved as an invention because, I haven't had this account since 7th grade, but yeah, this is a rough draft of what my first radio looked like. It was literally just a microphone and a speaker on a table. It was utilitarian, but it worked. You could contact from long distances. In modern day Rec Room, though, the microphone is not really even necessary. I just added the speakerphone because it's a speaker. And then this is my next one. It was a button that you would tap in Morse code that you could also receive from long distances. Yeah, pretty basic. If you grabbed it, or sorry, if you pressed it, it would play the audio, and if you let go of it, it would stop the audio. And you would do that over and over again in Morse code. This is the first version of my Marconi wireless telegraph. It was also this. It had the same UI as the Kier. It had updated audio to make a buzzing sound effect that you would hear when you received Morse code. If you were sending it, it would sound like it would kind of sound like the sparks that come from a Tesla coil. And I know it's ironic for me to say Tesla because Marconi and Tesla were rivals and Tesla sued Marconi because of the patent. But we're not talking about that right now. What I'm saying is that, yeah, that's what the actual Marconi would have sounded like. This is just what it would have sounded like when you were receiving something. Um, in order to adjust these transmitters, you would have to actually adjust you would have to adjust the audio player. This one was a little bit more advanced of a version. This one you could optionally turn on and off, adjust the volume, adjust the tone of your Marconi, and you could adjust how far you send out Morse code. Um, right now it's on. You would have to do a two-step process in order to get it on. Yeah, pretty basic. And then during this time, I also made the ham radio. This is my first radio that's actually comprised of inventions because I cannot do ham radio for the life of me, in Rec Room at least. Um, you would grab this knob and it would let you connect to ham radio. You had basic ranks, lieutenant, and disconnection. Um, this one just was optional. You could just turn on and off the receiver. So it wouldn't even make that sound. It would probably be more like one of those weird echoey GPS sounds. And of course, you had the Morse keyer because many hams like to still use Morse code. Yeah. In a Rec Room, originally, the company that I owned in Rec Room was known as the International Rec Transmitter Service. It's similar to the FCC in modern day USA. We enforced regulations on the airwaves and Rec Room, and we also hired wireless operators for anyone that was trying to get assigned aboard ships. Yeah, you would basically just come on down to the IRTS and you would apply to be a licensed operator. Now, technically, you don't even need to be a licensed operator in Rec Room. This is just a remake of the Marconi Company. But yeah, you would become a licensed operator and you would be assigned by me or one of our employers onto ships. In fact, you can still do that today because it's not really called Titanic. I was reading this. Sorry. Um, you can join the IRTS. It's just not called the IRTS anymore. It's the Marconi Company, dedicated to the Marconi wireless telegraph, including the amateur slash ham radio service for radio nerds and radio saurians alike. This is a company that helps rec room communication. Want to simulate? Yeah, blah 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 blah. It is currently owned by me and someone that owns the Orion Tesca line, my friend Heinrich Hertz. Um, as you could tell by my username, I am Mr. Marconi. And yeah, Hertz was the one who first discovered these electromagnetic waves that could be sent through the air. And Marconi was just the one that perfected it. For example, in this Marconi telegraph, my friend Heinrich, not his actual name, but yeah, Hertz was the one who modeled most of this. The parts that I modeled were these levers, the coherers, the Maggie field regulator, power adjust, which is like for the generators, um, and the picture frame over here. Everything else. Oh yeah, and I also made the generators and the table, but no one really cares about that these days. So yeah, those are all the parts that I made. Canadian made these two. I forgot they were the multiple airwave tuner, the induction coil, the battery, the keyers, and the Maggie. Yeah, so this room kind of acts as like a museum of some sorts to just see my telegraphs down through history. Um, yeah, my friend also made the shed here, so yeah, that's huge thanks to him for helping me with a lot of this. He also has his own Marconis. They're just not as detailed as our. Like originally, we made our Marconi wireless on our own. Like we just modeled them ourselves. We didn't really want to use each other's Marconi. And then one day we just decided to work together on Marconi wireless. He would handle modeling, and I would handle engineering or circuiting. And yeah, these are all the CV2 that's attached. And there's going to be even more CV2 because originally this Marconi telegraph would transmit as you would normally, but at the cost of other people who aren't even interested in Marconi or Morse code hearing on your conversation. Not to mention, it wouldn't be very privated. So on the Maggie, I made it's not in this save of the Marconi, but on the Maggie, I made a Marconi roll chip. That way, only people with Marconi um, roll can hear the signals. And in order to get the Marconi roll, you would actually have to put on a headset and actually listen in for the Morse code, which would be, I guess, the most historically accurate. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to implement the save so that way no one else has to be annoyed by hearing the Marconi. But yeah, that's basically just about it for my wireless telegraphs. If you wish to become a Marconi wireless operator and be assigned to certain ships in certain ship companies in Rec Room, be sure to DM my account, That Boy Yellow, or Mr. Marconi, and I will invite you to this club, the Marconi Company, and you will be assigned to whatever ships you are assigned to. There are obviously requisitions such as historical accuracy, understanding of Morse code, and the radio physics of Marconi wireless telegraphy. You also have to have a good track record. One of my friends came out as communist. I gave him my telegraph before I knew that he was communist, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna give my stuff to the motherland. Yeah. Oh, Heinrich is back. And that's the end of the video. So yeah, goodbye.